Barcelona, Hollywood, off a pool. Red caramel, cinnamon.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite girl, Amber Corinne from Above Average Hip Hop, and today I'm sitting with a very, very special guest. Can you please let our viewers know who is Oyabun?
Oyabun is in Japanese culture means Godfather, so it's kind of the name that I ended up going for. So it's dope.
Yeah, that's dope. I never heard that before. That's why I saw the name. I was like, wow, I gotta get to know him. I gotta know who he is, right?
Yeah. Now in Japan they have a thing called like the Yakuza. So it's kind of it's their version of, I guess, the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
So the leader of the mafia there is called the Oyabun.
The Godfather.
Yeah, exactly.
What has your week been like since you just dropped Castle on the Hill?
Oh, yeah.
What has this whole week been like for you since dropping that?
Busy, honestly. We've been just like really pushing the song and stuff like that.
Right.
Planning out. We have a event installation that we do called Soundwave.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been like planning for that too. That's this Sunday. So we just really just want to just get the exposure of the song out there, whether it's just through like marketing it through all the social media platforms that we have, and then just getting those numbers up. Honestly, just making sure people get to hear it.
What was the whole mindset behind creating that visual and song?
The song itself is called Castle on the Hills. It's supposed to be like it's kind of symbolic of this thing where it's like kind of something that we're always chasing for.
Right.
So it's like this castle on the hills. Like when I went to LA for the first time, I was fortunate enough to see like how the hills are, and there were like kind of literal castles out there on these hills, and it was something that I never really forgot coming from like Brooklyn and not really being able to see stuff to that magnitude.
Right.
It was just something that I was like, damn, like there's a bigger world out there.
Your video, Cobain.
Yeah.
BET Jams, that's major. And there's plenty of artists out here, you know, unsigned and signed. They're not really making moves of that magnitude.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Honestly, working. Fortunately, we have like BT's been a supporter,
Right.
And Cobain was like kind of one of the first things that we were able to actually be able to present on the channel, and fortunately, it just struck on the first strike, and that was good. So I mean, it was something that we were obviously like working towards for a while, but I mean, it's dope that it happened the way it did.
Right, yeah, because that doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Nah.
What are your views behind indie artists and people who choose to go the major label route? What are your views on that?
I think it's very obviously difficult to be independent artists.
Right.
The resources and the knowledge that may be privileged to a lot of artists that are on major labels, for independent artists, it's a lot more different.
Right.
And it's just, to be honest, I mean, it also takes just a certain type of person too to have to take that route, because I mean, there's always just more of a return and more of a control on everything. But I don't know, it's complicated. I mean, because of just how prevalent major labels are, you know, you're competing against that, you know? And it's kind of just like, it's like being like a local farmer competing against like Dole, you know? That, you know, it's just like, there's resources that come with that, I mean, fortunately, there's people like Chance and stuff that fortunately have, whether, you know, however they're able to do what they have to do.
Worked out for him.
But for the most part, I mean, a lot of it is just usually like, you know, fortunately they had a co-sign or they have a core fan base, but to have an independent artist compete at the same level as like some of these major label artists, it's a difficult thing.
Yeah,
but it's possible.
Speaking of Chance, I like that you brought him up, because I did want to ask you. I know you heard about what's going on with SoundCloud right now, possibly being shut down.
Yeah.
And Chance the Rapper, you know, he stepped up and pretty much said, I'm going to try to put a stop to that. And he's also independent, you know. So what are your views on, I guess, SoundCloud being shut down, and how important is that for artists who are independent?
I mean, it was probably it's the biggest platform that I feel like artists have ever had if they ever wanted to do anything themselves. I wouldn't say that I was surprised that Chance stepped up. I mean, because I feel like he's like one of the biggest people from there. So I mean, I would have hoped that something like that would have happened.
Right.
But I do feel like other people should have stepped up too, because he's not the only person. And I mean, goes back to just the same issue. I mean, he's willing to be able to step out the box and do something. But a lot of people use SoundCloud as a springboard into their major label careers. Where are they now?
Oyabun. All right, you're the artist. What or who has inspired the creation of Oyabun? Everything that you are, what has inspired that, or who?
I guess life. I mean, I feel like I was able to kind of grow into it. I mean, it was something that like initially when I did it, it was who I knew I wanted to be. But I mean, mean, life itself kind of just made it happen. Whether it was my family, whether it's people in my life, whether it's people that left my life, I feel like all those things are just the reason why I'm where I am now.
So what you go through, just your experiences, people
Yeah,
you
good or
meet,
bad. Good and bad, honestly.
You take it all in, and that's who you are.
I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
I just allowed it to mold me, but I would definitely say just that. And the city, like even being back here, I've been able to have just like, that's where like even stuff like Castle on the Hills and just being back in Brooklyn and being from Brooklyn and just being back out here and stuff like that, it's just like,
gotta represent, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it's like that energy now is just a lot more for me. It definitely pushes me a lot more.
So, Mona Lisa, that's a newer visual of yours. It's not the latest one, but it's a newer one. You directed it. Would you ever move more towards directing instead of being the artist in front of the camera? Do you want to be behind the cameras instead?
I mean, it all depends. I mean, a lot of times when I like try to do videos now, if I'm obviously like if I feel like I see myself as playing like a character or something, then I mean I'll play it. Or if I feel like, but I mean ultimately I would want to actually be able to like have that type of control over things.
Right.
Where it's like even before I guess music, I've had opportunities to like kind of direct stuff. Whether it was like, but it's usually just small projects. I've never had like a Hollywood budget to try and do something at that level, but I would want to, because I mean something like that I took a lot of pride in it, considering it was something that like we went and rented the camera, and then it was like also like my friend who shot it too, like it was like a thing, like it was like a whole project. We came up with the treatment, we came up with a lot of stuff, and we executed it, and it was just like
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Executed.
You know, and it's like I enjoy it because to me, I guess I know that it was, you know, had I had more money or had I had more things to put behind it, yeah, it could have been like bigger, but for what it was, I know what got put into it. What came out of it was dope.
How has Oyuban evolved? Let's say from 2015 when you were doing Mansa Musa. How have you evolved from then to now?
I guess it's weird because I feel like I'm matured.
Yeah.
I also still feel like I'm still that person. Like I don't really feel like much has changed. Maybe just the way that I'm like trying to deliver that same message, or just the way that I've approached things, or just even maybe other topics that I've decided to make music about now. A lot of it just has to do with just times have changed for me.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's tough to say because it's what I'm doing now is what I've always wanted to do, even from when I was doing Mansa Musa. And I'm just happy that it changed.
Right.
I'm just happy that like, you know, someone can ask me that and I can laugh and just be like, damn, that was a while ago. Whereas like it's not like something where it's like it's always been like that. Or I've always been this artist for like 5 years. I mean, that wouldn't necessarily be that productive.
Right.
So I'm just kind of just happy that things have just changed a lot in a very short amount of time too.
Right.
Cause I mean, Mansa Musa probably came out maybe like 2-3 years ago.
2015.
Yeah. And it's like, and I'm saying 2-3 years ago, and that's only 2 years ago. And it's like a lot has changed since then. So I'm just happy.
Have you had any influences that may have contributed to those, you know, changes?
Yeah. I mean, I would say not too many. I try to just I listen to some things, but I try not to really divulge into stuff too much because I don't really want it to like affect what I'm doing too much.
Exactly.
But I mean, some people's stuff that I feel like really I would have said had an impact on me was like Rihanna's album, the Anti album, The Weeknd's like last probably 3 of her albums. 2, well, especially even just the Beauty Behind the Madness album and Starboy 2, which I mean I liked, and stuff like that. I mean, I just like what I like, I guess.
Right.
That's about it. Tame Impala is also cool, and yeah, that's about it.
I want to ask you about 444.
Facts.
You know, we have the album 444 that just came out, and also Damn.
Yeah.
Would you say as an artist, do you think now that, you know, there's been so much people focusing on 444 and the message behind it, and albums like Damn, do you think there will be a shift in hip hop now and the way that artists approach their music now?
I feel like it's tough because I mean, with both of those projects, I feel like they're like 2 of the greatest like hip hop projects that came out this year, possibly just in history. But I think that what we kind of also have to always just keep in mind is just like they're like almost in these like 2 parts of their careers.
Right.
You know, like Hov is kind of like in this stage. That's what was so impactful about it, because he's at a point where he didn't really have to do this at all.
Exactly.
Like at all, and he did it, and it's reflected on just where he was in his life. But in the Damn Project was kind of the same thing for Kendrick. I mean, there's gonna always be people that feel like the lane that Hov is keeping open, whether it's for artists like Kendrick or Cole or it's just like he's kind of being able to kind of play his role. But I feel like Kendrick obviously plays it maybe even more intricate role, because he's younger, he's more relatable, but it doesn't obviously take away from the impact of the 4/4 album or everything like that. It's just that hip hop's just gonna be inspired by whatever it's inspired by.
I like that you said that Jay-Z's pretty much just reflecting on his life now, because some people, they look at that album and they think it's just an older rapper, trying to come at the younger rappers because, and it's not that. Like, I think some people don't think of it in another light. Like, it's more so he's pretty much, I've been through what you've been through, and let me show you and let me explain to you how my journey got me to where I'm at right now. It's
like if you had you need someone like that.
Right.
It's like having a responsible parent. It's like them telling you, like, when I was younger, I used to buy a lot of cars, but they depreciate.
Exactly.
And instead of using your money to do stuff like that, you should be investing into like mutual, other stuff that would actually. But I mean, people are young, and young people are defiant, and I don't think Hov was ever just gonna be expecting that things were gonna just stop.
Exactly.
He just said what he felt that needed to be said. At least it just was one of those things that no one said it. That's the reason why the entire album is so impactful, because no one's ever said it, and no one's even ever said it at that level.
Right.
No one's ever said it in that kind of to that depth either. Just talked about the things that he talked about. It just hasn't really been done.
So where do you see Oyebun in the next 5 years? As an artist, a friend, a son, anything that's related to Oyebun. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I just want to be involved in media more. Right. I mean, I also want to be able to be worldwide more. Like, I would hope that in the next 2 to 3 years, I'd be able to be more of a national force, and then be able to even at the same time be international too. Right. 5 years, I just want to be what I would see a person right now, and I guess look at them as an idol. I just want to be in that exact same position 5 years from now.
Well, we definitely see the hard work, and you're on your way. I know.
Yeah, thank you.
I definitely can see it. You're already making big moves, and you're independent right now, like you said, so I can see it happening for you. Do you have any new shows, any new events, music coming out that we can look forward to?
Yeah, right now Castle on the Hills is out on SoundCloud. I also have like a remix to Frank Ocean, Chanel, and stuff like that out. In August, I'm going to be putting out the project Neverland.
Oh wow, we're going to wait for that.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. It's a 7-song project. And I'll be putting out the visuals for pretty much the project, which is it's a short film actually.
Oh wow.
And then we're going to be putting it out as just videos for the singles, but together they're this film that we're going to present.
Wow,
and
that's dope.
That's just all the stuff that we're going to be doing to just really put the album out there. Just
push it as much as you can, right?
And I guess it even goes back to the direct thing. It's just kind of being able to give people that visual representation of the music, especially.
And it means so much more when the artist actually has their hands behind the scenes.
Because it's not always necessary.
Yeah, tell us where we can follow you. I already have where they can follow you. Yeah. But what are some other outlets that we might not know about where we can get to Oyebun?
Well, I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. I'm on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Oyebun. Instagram, Who is Oyebun. Twitter,
right?
YouTube, Vivo. I guess anything really.
Any jewels or gems that you have for us that's dropping right now?
Be mindful of the people that you keep close.
So thank you for sitting with us at Above Average Hip Hop. This
is
an amazing interview. Oyebun, make sure y'all follow him. Keep up to date with him. He's dope.
Thank you.
We can't wait to see what you have next.
Yeah.
Girl got that Benz truck, know she deserves it. Bulletproof windows, niggas is lurking. Far from the bando, I cannot change now. Brooklyn Nick, my niggas don't play around.